So what you need to do is remember that your LinkedIn profile is like a landing page, okay? And LinkedIn gives you features. It gives you access to things. So obviously you've got things like Sales Navigator and Premium and whatnot, but one of the things that you can do is you can obviously direct message your connections, right? Which is great. Hey there, expert. Rana Saini here. See, the wealthiest business coaches and consultants see business success as a system. This podcast, The Expert Advantage, contains real-world, in-the-trenches business advice that our clients use to gain a strategic advantage in growing their million-dollar expert business. It's my hope that you use these short lessons and insights to gain your strategic advantage in growing your expert business, and maybe one day soon partner with us at The Expert Project to take your expert coaching and consulting business to $1 million and beyond. I hope you share and enjoy. I want to share with you the LinkedIn newsletter formula that's really an essential part of any LinkedIn strategy, especially if you've got connections of perfect future customers on LinkedIn and you're wanting to have a better relationship with them, capture their attention more often, and turn those connections into conversations. Literally, as I'm getting onto this call, I had a message come through from one of my team. And literally, this was, hopefully you guys can see it. In fact, if you can't, let me just download it right now and I'll share with you what it looks like. We had a client who's literally just set up using this formula, their LinkedIn newsletter. And this is what it looks like, is what she said. Hopefully you can see it. So this is Kate. She literally launched her newsletter. She says, pretty happy with the results so far. 24 hours after her first publication, she's got a fair few subscribers and one cold lead from last year called yesterday afternoon because it reminded the lead of Kate. And basically just saying, trust the process. She's got 357 subscribers, cost her absolutely nothing other than the time it's taken to connect with those people. But what it's done is it's just created another channel using LinkedIn as the centerpiece to drive conversions, to drive new conversations. And so my hope for you, by the way, is if you haven't already, comment workbook below and we'll give you a copy of the workbook that you can see here, because we're going to be going through how you can set up your very own LinkedIn newsletter and start turning your connections into subscribers today. So what you need to do is remember that your LinkedIn profile is like a landing page, okay? And LinkedIn gives you features. It gives you access to things. So obviously you've got things like Sales Navigator and Premium and whatnot, but one of the things that you can do is you can obviously direct message your connections, right? Which is great. You can actually use LinkedIn events, which we'll be sharing in due course. But the other way that's just come out now is LinkedIn newsletters, because what that does is it effectively enables you to have and get out, instead of one-to-one via DMs, you can now go out one-to-many, send out a newsletter and get literally thousands of people looking at you, reading your content, and it just gives you another channel of influence to have people understand the value you add, some of the content, some of the insights that you've got, and also to put offers into your newsletter so it can drive more leads, drive more attention, and drive more opportunities for you. Now, guys, what I want to do is talk about what is a LinkedIn newsletter. Effectively, it's turned what used to be in LinkedIn, we used to have articles, and articles on LinkedIn used to get little to no traction. I don't know if you ever sent an article out or you've ever done it. You might have got 2 or 3 views on the article. Now, what you've got to also understand is that on LinkedIn, there are a lot of people who are lurkers, right? Lurkers are people who literally, they watch what you do, right? But they don't take action. So we know that there is a lot of passive people who are interested in what you do, but just because they don't reach out, comment, share, or connect with you doesn't mean that there's no opportunity out there for you. So what we do is they recently rolled out this tool where you can regularly publish articles about topics relevant to your audience. So you can literally just click on this button here You could before. Anyway, you could click on this letter here, and what it enables you to do is it'll take you to all these hyperlinks, and you can go and have a look at real live newsletters. In fact, this is what it looks like here. We have ours, Influence Your Marketplace. As you can see, I've sent out a lot already. I've got 4,131 subscribers, and I've got a bunch of different newsletters, as you can see, that have gone out. From a likes and stuff perspective, you go, it's not really, is it really worth it? But when you go into the article and you check out the kind of views that we're getting, you realize that it's really actually worth doing. So you can jump in, people can literally subscribe to your newsletter, and we can actually get some pretty cool analytics. As you can say, this only went out a little bit. I've got 1,484 views on my newsletter. So it's a really great channel. So the next thing is all members can discover, read, and share newsletters. You can basically tailor it to your topic, your business. You can brand it. You can make sure that people understand the value of what your newsletter is about. Now, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to help you understand how to best optimize a newsletter, because you can read a lot of this in the workbook. By the way, there's a link to the workbook in the chat, or if you need it, just comment workbook and we'll get it to you. Now, why create it? Builds authority. If you're not getting content out there, if people don't see you, hear from you, read about you, if you're not influencing your marketplace regularly, then you cease to become an option for your audience to do business with. So if you're not getting the attention of your audience, someone else is. So what you want to do is make sure that you use this to increase visibility as well. As you can see, this is one of our newsletters here. We had 1,957 views. Who cares about the likes? But 1,957 views and reads of this newsletter is an exceptionally powerful channel, because to actually reach that many people with ads would cost a lot of money. And so what we want to do is just keep looking at building it out. So since your subscribers will receive push, in-app, and email notifications, you'll get better reach and engagement compared to other postings. Okay? Now, how to create a LinkedIn newsletter. Basically, we've given you a step-by-step system to do it. You have to be in a thing called creator mode. Now, if you go, Rana, what is creator mode? You can register for creator mode inside of LinkedIn, and it's here that I've got creator mode on. So you want to turn creator mode on. What it actually does is give you access to some hashtags that you can start ranking for. Also, you can do audio events, which is just new. This has just come out, so we're exploring that at the moment. LinkedIn Lives and newsletters, which enables you to then get your articles, get your content out to far more people. So while creator, as it says here, this is not always available to all people, because LinkedIn is rolling it out in different ways and for different people. So in different countries, it might not be available to you just yet. But you can see here, newsletters is available, and so therefore it's on for us. Hey there, expert. So listen, our mission here at the Expert Project is to positively impact the world of other business coaches and consultants just like you. We want to help them make more impact, have more income, and have a positive influence on the world. And see, the only way we can do that is if you've heard something in today's episode that moved you, created an insight, changed your perspective, or gave you an aha moment. All I'd ask you to do is take 10 seconds, rate and review this podcast, so together we can help spread the word about this podcast and have a positive influence in someone else's world. How to create a LinkedIn newsletter. You click write an article, create newsletter, and then you can customize your newsletter title, description, publishing frequency, and your logo. Why is this important? What I tend to find is that when you have a newsletter, don't be generic about what it is. Don't call it the business growth newsletter, right? That's just, the business growth newsletter is not necessarily specific to your audience. So I'll give you some tips in that in just a second. How often do you want to publish? Literally, if it's once a week, do once a week. We do twice a week because we've got some great content and we have a great cadence. And again, for those of you who want to join us, make sure you come into our $5 challenge. And if you're interested in joining our $5 challenge, you can just comment challenge below and we'll give you some information to the challenge. And there's a link in this workbook anyway. So the description of your newsletter should articulate the value and the reason why someone should subscribe to your newsletter. What are they going to receive? How is it going to help them? What is it going to do to improve, to give people insights, information, entertainment, or some kind of advantage? What are you going to send to them? So we want to get clear on that. And that will appear with your newsletter title, and then you can upload your logo. The next thing is, this is the cool thing, right? You can invite your connections and followers to subscribe. Perfect. So you send it out. It will literally send out an invitation to all your connections and people who are subscribed or following you to follow you and subscribe to your newsletter. But what's important is that this here is really dialed in, right? So newsletter title could be depending on your niche, depending on your audience, it might be like the business coach lead generation secrets, right? Or it could be real estate agents, the $1 million real estate agent secrets, tips, tricks, whatever it is, right? So give people something that's going to be like, oh, that's what I want to subscribe to. I want to be kept up to date with that topic. And that's really interesting for me. Right, this is the best way to then start to generate exactly what we did here with Kate, right? She was able just to post it out. Now she's got 357 subscribers, and that's growing every day on its own. So we want to then go through, get an image, a nice image that visually represents your brand. Don't have to put your face on it, because remember, your face is on your profile photo already, but something that visually represents the value of your newsletter. So if you're talking about real estate, have something to do with real estate. If you're talking about HR, have something to do with HR. If you're talking about lead generation, have an image about lead generation. If you're talking about sales, have an image around sales, okay? And what we want to do is then literally, step by step, as you can see, pick a theme, decide on a specific topic that demonstrates your expertise, pick a newsletter name that should reflect the theme of the newsletter, a compelling description to hook your readers, and establish a posting cadence. Published weekly. What's your published schedule? Let them know. This will go out to people, and people have the ability to subscribe. They become subscribers, which means every time you post an article, it goes out on LinkedIn, but it also finds your way into their inbox, which is really powerful because most people pay for LinkedIn, and therefore they will receive your newsletter in their inbox. So what we've done is just given you some space on this worksheet to work through the themes, newsletter name, compelling description, get your posting cadence, title, image, headline. What we want to do is something like this, right? So as we're going through and writing out our newsletter, this is a great image, right? Because it says obstacles every expert coaching consultant must overcome. And we've just gone and found an image that shows a gap. So you can get some stock images or find some images off Google as long as you have permission, and put a little bit of a brand on it. These are the dimensions, which are subject to change because that's what LinkedIn does. And that becomes your image that sits at the top of your article, just like you saw here. You can see some cool images that we've done that really share the value of what we do and speak to the topic of that edition of the newsletter. The next thing is we want to have a look at the headline. A headline should be something that grabs attention immediately and gets people's attention, gets them to think, oh, I'm interested in that topic. Obstacles every coach and consultant must overcome. 3 secrets that every real estate agent needs to know. The 2 fallacies that stop HR managers building a high-performance team. The 5 reasons why your sales team quit. What are the topics? Make it a little bit edgy, controversial. Should speak to a problem, should speak to a promise. Okay, and then what you want to do is add, when this is going to load up, add images throughout your newsletter because it breaks up the text. People love picture books and magazines over long novels, right? Because it's easy for people to read. Now, to give you an idea of what that looks like, you'll see that when I click on any of our newsletters, we will have an image and we break it up. And they're very small. I don't write a lot in these newsletters. I just write enough for what they need to hear and what people are interested in seeing. And then we basically have a call to action at the end. Now, people can subscribe to this whenever they want to. So the more active I am, the more subscribers I'm going to get. If I add another one, click to another one, you'll see, again, I have at the top a link that people can click, and I've just broken it up with basic images of a little pug, right? So it makes it visual, makes it very easy to read, and people are interested. It keeps their attention. And that's what we want to do, rather than just make it all text. So build out, use images, and make sure that you're visually representing the text and breaking it up. Finally, if you need any helpful links, what we've done is just add them in here. FAQs, access criteria, all of the cool things that you're going to need to get you started on your first newsletter. Guys, this has been our LinkedIn newsletter formula. There is literally a step-by-step system in this workbook. So comment workbook below or click the link if you haven't already. Get access to it. And honestly, don't delay. It's so easy to set up LinkedIn newsletters. It'll literally take you 10 to 15 minutes to set up. And literally by the end of the week, you'll have hundreds of subscribers of people that you've got their attention, that you can engage with, that you can influence, that you can impact, and then you can actually monetize and make an income from. I'm Rana Saini from the Influencer Project. It's been great to share another little gold nugget. If this has been valuable for you as well, please let me know in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation rolling. We've got some big things coming for you as well, and we'll keep sharing the latest updates on LinkedIn and other B2B strategies that can help you grow your coaching and consulting business. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.